Hey guys, my name is Dennis Kotman, and today we're gonna answer an interesting question. Is it really worth it to move to the United States of America in 2024? If you're interested in this question, and especially in the answer, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's get started. And back to the question, is it really worth it to move to the United States in 2024? Let's dive right into it. First of all, you need to answer the question. Do you really need to change the country where you live? Do you really need to leave all you knew for, let's say, the last 20 years, 18 years, 25, 30, 35, whatever age you are in, and get to a completely new place where you potentially don't know anyone? No one knows you, you don't have any people you know, you don't have any connections, you don't have any relatives, friends, no one. And trust me, it's not gonna be an easy transition. No one goes through this transition easily, with ease. It's impossible, almost impossible. Unless you live between your home country and the country you wanna move to, and you're familiar with it, and you know all the rules, all the laws, all the opportunities in the country where you want to move to. Okay, means that you need to decide for yourself. Do you really need this move? Or you feeling good in your home place and you can be happy in the place where you work? And also, I don't want to be that advisor who is going to tell you, yeah, United States is the greatest country in the world, God bless America, everyone should live here in the States. No way. I don't want to be like that. Everyone should decide for themselves. That's what I said. And every situation is different. Everybody's situation is different. What I mean by saying that, political situations in certain countries not that stable. Some people are threatened. Some people are afraid to be involved in the war or in the conflict. Some people don't have jobs. It's just a lot of different life situations you can be involved in. And you should decide for yourself. You should rate your life in a lot of different aspects and decide for yourself if you are the one who wants to live in the USA. Everything costs a lot of money here. It's not like, you move into the States and everything you're gonna get is gonna come for free. No. Before moving here, I thought that Americans are the happiest workers in the world. They work here, they take vacations a few times a year, and the life is just perfect. But I didn't know the hidden fact, what is standing behind those couple vacations, and that not every job allows you to take those few vacations during the year, and also how many hours people put on the daily basis into their work in order to afford those few vacations throughout the year. After I moved here, I admitted the fact actually that working Americans are one of the most hardworking people in the world. And I'm not faking it. I'm not lying. It's just that's how they are. They work hard. Alright guys, the next question. The definition of the word happiness is different for every single person. For example, for one human being, the definition of the word happiness can be when they are healthy, when they not go into the hospital too often. For some people, happiness can be defined as financial freedom, or when you wake up and you don't have to go to work, or you can work from home, or for some people, the word happiness equal to having a car and you don't have to think about how much money you spend on buying gasoline for this vehicle. For every single person, the definition of the word happiness is completely different. Back to our topic. Do you think you'll find your type of happiness if you move to the United States? Decide for yourself. I can tell you the story based on my example, and my example is kind of interesting example, I think. First of all, why we decided to move to the United States. Who didn't know, my name is Dennis again. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. We moved here together with my wife. in 2014. Why we decided to move? Because we were students at that time. We applied for green card. My home country, which is Moldavia, Republic of Moldova, is a small country which is allowed to participate in this green card program called DV Lottery. We were participating in the program for 3 years. After 3 years, my wife, at that time she was still my girlfriend, found out that she won a green card, and now we need to collect the documents. Not we, but she needs to collect all the documents and send to Kentucky, to start the process. And at that time, we were dating for 3 years already. And it was not honestly a question for her. Does she want to go by herself or she doesn't? It was a question for us, actually. How can we move to the US together? Luckily, I've been to US before. I was here by the cultural exchange program, work and travel. I was working as a lifeguard for 2 summers. First summer was in Massachusetts, close to Boston, actually. And the second time, we got to Pennsylvania. I was working as a lifeguard in Hershey Park, pretty well-known park because of the chocolate factory. By the way, we got married in order to put all the documents into the process and move to the US together. Luckily, we were approved. We got the interview, we passed the interview somehow without English, but with a little bit of experience in the United States. We passed interview process. It was super easy. The reason is because our relationship was not a fake, and in less than a year, we landed in JFK, John Kennedy Airport in New York City. Why we chose New York City? That's not an interesting question. Because we knew that New York City, Brooklyn particularly, has very large white population of Russian-speaking people from all former Soviet Union countries. It was 15 countries who didn't know. They were kind of coming and making a layover on Brighton Beach. Some of them just decided to build their new life around Brighton Beach, and I cannot blame them because I've been in the area for almost 10 years and, it's hard to complain. Like, that's the only fact we knew. And because we didn't speak English, for us kind of was obvious to find a little bit of home outside of home. And Brighton Beach became that little home outside of our home, outside of Moldova. Yes, it was super hard. It was probably the hardest decision in my life, and I'm pretty sure in my wife's life as well, because you live in all your past, you leave all your friends, you leave all your relatives, you leave all the people you know, you leave all the places you know, you leave your home, you leave your air you used to breathe from the first inhale when you were born, and after 22 years you just start living a brand new life in a brand new country from blank, in a country whose language you don't speak, and it's tough. You have to be tough. If you're not tough, you're gonna move back to your home country. Yeah, that's kind of it. You asked me, Dennis, how much money should we have in order to start planning a move to the United States? There is no right answer on that question, honestly. When we decided to move, the only money we had after we bought our flying tickets, after we spent some money for the transportation and stuff, we had only $900 in our wallet after we landed in JFK. Imagine $900 in a brand new country with no relatives, no friends, no connections, nobody who we knew. It was kind of scary a little bit, but because we were 22-year-old, it was not as scary as it could have been if we were, let's say, 40 years old or 50 years old. Because we were pretty open-minded, open for new language, new connections, friends, and we kind of loved it. It was such a smooth transition. Maybe the reason is because most of people around us were speaking the language we could speak, because people were speaking Ukrainian, Russian, a lot of people from Belarus as well. And for us, it was kind of easy transition, I would say. Yeah, if you can say that. Yeah. If you can say that it's an easy transition when you leave all your parents, siblings, friends, somewhere 10,000 kilometers away from you. Other than that, it was pretty easy. In a few days, I found my first job. In a few weeks, I found the job which was paying enough money for us to already plan our future in the United States. I was making a few $1,000s a month already. Somehow, we survived. And I'm here in this $90,000 car. I'm not a fancy career worker. I'm a regular driver driving my own truck, Chevrolet Suburban 2023. I have my lovely clients who I work for, and I'm able to record this video for you guys and to share a little bit of my experience for you when you decide to move to the US, if you decide to move to the US, for this transition to be a little easier. First advice, and this is like universal advice, have enough money in order to survive here. Like, you're not gonna die on the street here, because there are a lot of resources which will help you to not be on the street. But if you're not planning to live on the street, you have to have at least a few $1,000s in your pocket in order to rent a room or to rent an apartment for the first month, while you figuring out your job, figuring out your new friends, figuring out like all your life in a brand new country. Yeah, as I mentioned before, we didn't have any friends, family, and people who we knew here, and we had to figure everything out by ourselves. And it was a little scary during certain moments. When you are becoming a legal immigrant in the US, you have certain privileges. Yeah, let's call them privileges, because they really are privileges. Brand new green card holders, they are able to attend certain colleges for free. They can get a scholarship for a lot of things. They can go through a lot of different programs for free, because it's all financed by US government. They can get money for food. They give you like a certain card, and they transfer some money onto this card every week for you to buy food. Also, you get in a free healthcare, which is, I would say, which has pretty good coverage. Like, it covers literally everything you need, and it's great for the fresh immigrant, for the person who doesn't know anything. You got pretty good opportunities. I'm gonna tell you one thing. In order to get into a good job right away, you have to have a certain level of English. Yes, this country, and New York City particularly, it's a very international place. It's very diverse. It has a lot of nations, a lot of people in it from all over the place. But don't forget, this is the English-speaking country. People, all the business, it works in English-speaking environment. And if you decide to build your career here or to build your business here, you have to speak English. Like, there is no doubt that English will be needed in order to make more money. And everything goes around money here, because your lifestyle, because the things you can buy, the apartment you can rent, the house you can buy, the car you will drive, or the clothes you can buy, everything goes around the money. And yes, on the basic level, you can rent an apartment, you can lease not a fancy car for the beginning, and it's more than enough. You don't need to be too scared about gasoline, because it's cheap. Food, you're gonna get some help with food. Health, you're gonna get some help with free insurance. And you know, in the beginning, it's pretty kind of smooth transition, but you don't have to stuck in this world of free things, because it was made specially for the new people in the country. And a lot of people, I guess, you know, like, you can say that about a lot of different countries, that a lot of people using the system in order to not pay for anything. You know, we moved here not to live on this $300 a week, what people usually get from the government if they don't work, or whatever amount they get. I moved here for a better life. For me, for my wife, and for our kids who were born here. If you are paying for everything, even making a $10,000 a month is sometimes can be not enough. And I know some people who make $1 million a year, and it's not enough for them as well. It all depends on how you live your life, how much money you spend, and what are your priorities in life. By the way, in this video, I'm talking about people who dream of a chance to move to the US. For some reason, I was always dreaming, always kind of imagining myself living in US, living somewhere in California, New York City, or Boston maybe, and it was always kind of interesting for me to find out something new about this country. It just ended up that I got to the US with help of my wife, thanks to her luck, and we are doing okay here. But just to let you know, it was always a dream. It was not just something spontaneous that just came on our horizon. For those people who have like $1 million on their account, they don't live in the US. Yeah, US can be a little tough country to be in because of the high taxes and because like you always have to pay for something. Let's say if you got $1 million on your account, you can make much more out of it somewhere outside of the States. For instance, in Europe, like in Eastern Europe, in Central Europe, even in Western Europe, you can afford much more for this $1 million, just for you to know. And as I said, like, I was not a millionaire, I was not even half a millionaire, I was not even quarter millionaire, and I was not even 100,000-aire, if there is such a word. What can I tell you after 10 years of being here? It was some kind of a short story of my life here in New York City, in the US. My advice is think twice. Better think 10 times before you make the final decision about moving to this country. It can bring you a lot of wealth, health, happiness, but also it can take all those things away from you. It's the matter how you live your life. And think twice. Do you really want to move to the country of the United States of America? I don't know. You know, if you ask me, Dennis, if we deposit $1 million to your account, are you still gonna stay in the US? I would think about it. I'm not gonna give you my answer, but I would definitely will think about it. Do I want to be in the US anymore or not? It's not that country which you can learn about from Hollywood movies, even though there's a lot of truth in the movies. You're gonna be dealing with the real life here. And real life here is really tough. No kidding. I was telling you about people who have to work not 40 hours a week, at least 60, 70 hours a week all year long in order to afford good, nice vacation, in order to maintain their life on a certain level. Guys, be well. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.